What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys all well, had a great weekend. Mine was indifferent for various reasons, none more so than obviously watching the cricket and seeing Australia retain the Ashes. So you know that hurt obviously, and it was partly the reason why I didn't do end of play reviews for day 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I thought I'd give you a more sort of bite-sized look at what how I thought the match would pan out, and it turned out obviously completely different, as has done the whole series, to be fair. There's not really much to say. I've got a couple of points kind of written down on my MacBook. I'm just, so if you do see me glance down, it's only because I'm just kind of looking at what I have wrote. And the first point is, well, Australia won the toss, obviously, and we know they polled on an absolute mammoth 497 for 8, which was going to be a tough ask. It was going to be a tough ask for any team, none more so than a team that was really struggling with the opening partnership, such as England. So them being put into bat first, obviously they put themselves in. It was, to be fair, led me to think if England could strike quick, and obviously put the kind of try and wrestle the, I don't know, momentum or pressure, whatever, and put the pressure back on Australia, then it might not have been such a bad toss to lose. As both teams did say at the toss, they would have batted first, so it kind of led me to think, so obviously we're kind of on the back foot, but could put ourselves on the front foot very quick. We did so. Obviously the wicket of David Warner falling, obviously none more, and we know who he falls to, because he falls to his boyfriend Stuart Broad, and that's not confirmed. It's not. It seems like they've got a love-hate relationship throughout this series, and Warner's definitely going to be sick of the sight of Stuart Broad's face by the end of it. As obviously I think he's only averaging 10, I think, or something like that in this series, which correct me if I'm wrong, obviously. But that brought a smile to my face, and obviously as the day panned out, chances were dropped, and obviously chances were dropped, catches were dropped, and it was pretty woeful from England's point of view. It was woeful watching. To be fair, I've not been able to watch it live, so I've been catching up by the YouTube kind of bite-sized little highlights package they've been putting together, which really cool. ECB, shout out to you lot, obviously doing big things for the England cricket team, and obviously whoever your YouTube man or YouTube kind of man is, really cool. And to be fair, going on from that, the fact that they were able to amass 497 for 8 was always going to be a tall order, and it did prove to be a tall order, no matter, even from the battlings of like Rory Burns and probably Joe Denley. I mean, he was obviously put in as a makeshift opener. That it worked. I'm not going to say it didn't. It worked. It worked very well. It worked to an extent where Burns and Denley, I think, should be the opening partnership going forward. I think they've struck gold with that, and I think they should use that, try and get them comfortable with each other, try and get them obviously comfortable with each other's game, because obviously all different batsmen play a certain way, and I think to be able to keep Denley in the side without his place being up for grabs, that would be a very well, I'm not going to say profitable, because it's not, obviously it's not about profit, but it would be a run profiting way of keeping him in the side, and perhaps, well, depending on how they go in future series, it will be really interesting to see perhaps the players that are dropped and the players that are told to go back and play county cricket. I think there will be a few of them. I don't think, I'm not going to name any names just yet, because obviously there's a few other points that I need to go down, but as I say, 3 key points and 3 key areas that the game is played in: batting, bowling and fielding. England have just not been good enough in all 3 aspects for long enough periods in certain test matches, none more so in this test match. This test match we've been nothing short of woeful, shambolic, just abysmal. we've been trying to hang with this Australian side from the very first ball at the very first test in Birmingham, Edgbaston, and it's bittersweet to see such, because a couple of years back we were a really good test side. I know test match cricket doesn't move as quick as, and it doesn't evolve as quick as one day cricket and T20 cricket, but it's definitely moved on in those 2 years or 2 to 3 years that England have obviously kind of fallen off, to say. Like I mentioned, we've been trying to hang with this Australian side, and I know in the very first video of this series that I did say they were a bang average side, and many pundits actually agree, apart from perhaps 3 players in that Australian side that have kept them afloat. 4 if you count 2 bowlers and 2 batsmen, Labuschagne and Steve Smith obviously being the batsman. Labuschagne has come in and he's been an absolute revelation. He's been, for them, a real find for the future. I think he'll be knocking on many a county door, in the when the season starts again. I think it'll be early next year, and there'll be many offers for him to say, we'd love you to come and play for our county over here to get you some, get you experience and whatnot at such kind of, well, they are definitely awkward conditions, and they're definitely not unplayable, but they're just, it is, English conditions are generally for Australian batsmen, not so much in the past, but more so the here and now, have been kind of tough. Yeah, that's a good word. That's a good word to sort of say. But like I said, pundits have said this Australian side isn't actually all that great. So it's not me just basing my opinion off of what they've said. My opinion, I stated it before this was sort of kind of stated in the public, in the press as such, and the way the series has progressed, obviously Australia being, they've got better and better, what it would seem, and England have just progressively declined. They were, started at level, and eventually the decline was sort of amassed halfway through the 4th test. I think we played really good cricket up until now, but this test match would really let ourselves down, and under the circumstances it was, bittersweet, like I keep mentioning, bittersweet to watch, bittersweet to hear about, and bittersweet certainly I feel sorry more so for the old not old, but the legends in the game that have played for England before. The likes of Michael Vaughan, Geoffrey Boycott. I make those my examples because I was listening to and watching BBC Sport on the TV, and it's, for them, it was probably more. It hurt probably more watching for them than it did actually. I don't know, because it didn't seem like it didn't seem like any of the players cared all that much. The only people that cared were like some of the senior pros. You got obviously like Stuart Broad in there bowling his heart out, trying to keep England in this Ashes series. Stokes' heroics in the 3rd test, but ultimately, and as many have said, we've just not been good enough in all 3 areas of the game. Our bowling has been probably the best out of the 3, but that's only because we've had, I don't know, perhaps the rub of the green a little bit, and we've here and there parts of like key points in games and key areas in games where it could have gone either way, ended up going our way. All right, you could, this and that has been said, this and that has been done, but it's, and sometimes you have to ride your luck. You make your own luck, but you have to ride it also. And it was just, to be fair, disheartening almost, to the point where we all know now that Root isn't as strong a captain as the media make him out to be, because he's not someone who would strike fear into the hearts as much as, say, a Michael Vaughan or perhaps even Nasser Hussain. Even going back to, I'm not going back too far, but going back 2003, 2000 to 2003. those type of players, you would just look to them because they were authoritative figures within the dressing room. You would look to them and think, you know, I'm confident and I'm comfortable being captained by a said player. With Root, I just don't see many people, and I don't see many players feeling that radiating from him. To keep this video a little bit shorter for you guys, so you can obviously just enjoy it. Massive congratulations to Australia. They've been far better side through the series, and obviously as it's progressed they've got better and better, and we've got, like I said, weaker and weaker. And I think we've shown parts of good cricket, but just not for long enough, and it's just, like I said, the overwhelming emotion is bittersweet. It's just, hopefully we can go to the Oval on Thursday. It's a 4-day turnaround that, you know, obviously hopefully we can win it. You know, it's you know, lots need to be changed. I think, you know, there's quite a few players and, you know, personnel as such. Yeah, personnel and players are more or less the same thing, but there's personnel in the coaching setup. There's the chairman of selectors, or, you know, chief of selectors, whatever you want to call it, needs to start answering questions. Why certain batsmen keep getting picked when they're so far out of form they can't even see it. It's so far over the horizon. But yeah, to keep it short and sweet, I love you guys. I will speak to you guys probably before the next test match. It'll probably be the test match preview of the 5th test. Yeah, thank you all for the support throughout the series, and we go again on Thursday. Like, share, subscribe. You boys out of here.